I came to your office to
Oh,
let you
no,
know
we've
I
been
was
there.
here.
Yeah.
You weren't there. And I was like,
It was
okay,
on my
everybody, when y'all
calendar.
see Christian, let her know that I'm in the building. Okay. They was like, okay. So I was like, let me go get ready. Came up here, did this for about an hour, and then I went back down there to see. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let me go see where she at. Still wasn't in the
No,
office. I said,
I
this
was
woman
coming.
be...
I was gonna be here. But
Oh
no,
my
like I said,
God.
I definitely. And sometimes I've been in situations where people have taken me being really quiet as me not having knowledge about something.
Right.
And see, that's a big mistake. Like, don't ever underestimate that. Like, yeah, I know a lot about a lot, but I'm also very intentional about what I'm intentional about kind of what I say and how
You
I
have to
articulate it.
be. You have to be.
And
That's
so,
the smart
yeah.
thing to
Yeah.
do.
So
That's
like,
awesome.
so I'm quiet, but I'm not that quiet. So.
Ain't nothing wrong with being quiet. Okay, so this third question is, what are the 3 movies you recommend to the audience, and why, and what's your favorite movie?
Gosh, what is my favorite movie?
Because
That
I always
is
say
tough.
movies can tell you about a person sometimes.
Oh,
I
would totally agree. I would totally agree.
What's your favorite
So
3 movies?
probably one of my favorite movies.
3 movies you recommend.
3
and
movies
then
I
one
recommend.
of them is your favorite. Well, or the other one is your favorite. So it's really 4 movies you're saying.
Okay, 3 movies that I recommend. I would recommend certainly. Okay, I'm gonna give you some genres. Okay.
I'm listening.
So one of them, like, I love comedy.
Okay.
I love comedy, and I've got to go with Coming to America, number 1.
Okay.
Because
very
first
Afrocentric.
Of all, it's Afrocentric, and it is a classic. It really is.
There very legendary.
It is right. But I also think the older that I've gotten, I think there are a lot of themes in that movie that they're couched kind of in comedy, but there are a lot of themes that like we deal with now that I think are so interesting. Like,
it is. It's touching home a lot now.
It touches home. It does. It touches home a lot. And so I think that movie has always, and again.
Because a lot of people are what they call it being woke.
Yeah.
And they're starting to really understand like what it is to be more centered with the universe, and more people are eating more healthier. Africa, you think of all these things. So.
Yeah. But I think that was the first time the Black community got an up close and personal kind of view of like what African culture and like tradition kind of looked like. It was through comedy.
Yeah.
But like to kind of see the Prince of Queen.
He was a prince. That's where we come from.
Exactly.
It's in the bloodline.
So there's a lot of stuff in that movie I think that really gave Black folks up close and personal look at that, and I appreciate that. And then probably second movie I would say was, because again I am a tireless advocate for my home state, and kind of the growth and the good things that have come out of that state.
Right.
There's this movie Mississippi Burning.
I watched that a long time ago, but I cannot remember that movie. I'm gonna watch it tonight.
You should watch it. So I won't spoil it.
I actually watched that a while ago, and I can't remember what it was about.
Yes, I won't spoil it. But Mississippi Burning, for me, it was a real coming of age movie for me too. It really talks a lot again about.
Okay, pause real quick.
I'm sorry.
We back.
Okay. But yeah, the second movie I recommend is Mississippi Burning. It's kind of for me, it was a coming of age movie, but it talks a lot about the civil rights movement, but the civil rights movement specifically in Mississippi.
Right.
And, obviously the burning part is, crosses burning and all that kind of stuff. But again, it gives people a lot of context for, again, a lot of things that we discuss now, a lot of the issues that we have now. And so for me, it just was such a huge, and it honestly was probably my first like introduction into like history,
right? And
like the understanding, like understanding where you came from, and the history of like your home state and like where you are from was important. And that to me was a jumping off point for like, oh, okay, then like it's difficult to watch.
I'm real hard at history. Like when I was in school, I never got into history because it was so whitewashed. So I had to kind of like create my own history and learn stuff that I needed to feel fulfilled with just being a Black young man.
But I think that's why it's so important again for us to know and to like talk to our talk to our parents, talk to our grandparents.
Just drains me. It does, but I respect all of it. regardless of the hardship that a lot of us our ancestors went through and everything like that, because a lot of people can't deal with history because they so aggressive with it, and it's like, calm, pipe down a little bit. It's okay, like, we understand that you're angry about this and that, but it's like time to elevate and be more open to accepting
Agreed.
everything as a whole.
Yeah, I look at history as, look, history is literally the story of how we got here.
Yeah.
And it helps us to kind of explain like why we are in the space we are in right now in our culture, in our society. And I think it's like I said, nothing kind of just happens by happenstance. Like these are things that have been happening
Right.
throughout the history of, throughout since this country has been a thing. And so I think it's important for us to like understand that. And so I've always had this really, really high interest in understanding, like I said, how we got here. Why do we argue about what we argue about? Why do we disagree about what we disagree about? Like, I want to know what the origin of that is. And
Right.
for me, that's what I get from kind of learning about history. And granted, like I said, I'm not I wasn't a history major or anything like that. But again, so much of the history, so much of especially Black folks' history, it gets passed down through like oral traditions and like people talk, like telling their stories, like talking to
Right.
my grandparents, talking to my aunties, like that kind of stuff means a lot to me.
Right.
So,
Well, I get it. I understand.
and you said my favorite movie.
Yeah, your favorite movie.
What is my favorite movie? I don't know that I have a
See, I'm a
favorite
lover, so
movie.
my favorite movie is the love story.
I'll go with you on that.
I'm the
What
Notebook.
what love story?
The
Okay.
Notebook.
Okay, I'm Love Jones.
Love Jones is in my
I'm
top
a Love
three.
Jones. Yeah, I'm
Love
Love Jones.
Jones, Notebook, and I think Poetic Justice, because I'm
Those
a
are
little
good
ratchet
ones.
on the edges. Like,
Yes, give me a good
I
Darius Love, Paul, and
I
Nina.
love Love Jones.
I'm a Love Jones
Yeah,
person.
I can watch Love Jones like probably
Can't
every
you?
other day. I
Can't
can,
you?
because I'm a lover. I just love love.
I support it.
So tell me three most influential people you in your life. Hold on. Tell me about three most influential people in your life and how they impacted you.
Okay. First, I will say, and this is cliche, but my mom, my
No, it's
mother,
not.
I know.
Mother
Go ahead.
always got to get
I
on the
know,
list.
right? But
Anyway,
my
go
mother
ahead.
she was an entrepreneur. She's the 1st entrepreneur I ever knew. She owned a daycare center.
Right.
And so I saw her do that while she went back and got her master's degree at the same time. And she was also a musician. And so I saw her do all three, and a mom, and I saw her do all four of those things really,
So
really
you got
well.
creative juice in you, because
Yes.
music, you got to be out of this world to do that craft, because
Yes.
that's a whole situation.
It is. And so she played the piano, and she played for all of the local churches in our town growing up.
Awesome.
And so to see her do all of those four things and do them really well, to me, it was always something I and continue to aspire to. Like, if I can do that, like if I can, I always tell her, I tell her, like, girl, you the blueprint. Like, if I can figure out how to just get a portion of like the energy and the creativity and the stamina that you've managed to keep up for decades, I'll be okay. And so then, this is again also kind of cliche, and I'm gonna have to keep. I gotta make mine four.
Okay, that's fine.
Three other folks that that have been probably the most influential for me would likely be my sisters. I have three older
Well, that's
sisters.
not really cliche, because you don't really hear people give their sisters and brothers no
right?
props, because most people don't like their sisters and brothers.
And that's
So.
true. I learned that, and it's so sad because I love my sisters, and so they have really been my blueprint for womanhood and Black
Okay.
womanhood.
Okay.
Like, they've all been able to be really successful in their careers. I have had a sister, who's
Shout out to all the sisters
Shout
out there.
out, seriously.
And to her sisters.
Sisters are amazing.
I love my two sisters,
Don't you love
too.
your sisters?
Well, my brother, we like night and day. We do not. That boy is a hot mess express. Like,
He trying.
yeah, he.
He trying. So yeah.
Love you, bro. But anyway.
See. So yeah, like I said, they're my people. They're my
Your
people.
sisters and your mom. That's
Sisters and my
awesome.
mom.
Okay, so this last question, like I said, y'all, she directed and she's executive produced the monuments of the Untold Stories of Stone Mountain. Make sure I say that right. Monuments, Untold Stories of Stone Mountain. I only have one question about this because I know people gonna have an attitude because people just crazy. But what is one of the craziest things that you heard? Because I'm sure y'all got some type of like backlash towards it. Like, what is one of the craziest things that you read in a blog or a comment that kind of was like something that you wasn't expecting for somebody to say? The fact that y'all did this.
Yeah, I don't. So I will say,
It ain't necessarily even got to be like a negative comment. It could be just like something weird that you wouldn't expect for somebody to say. Like, maybe it put some kind of thought into like where did this all come from and why did they do this and.
so I don't know that I've had any like crazy comment.
Mm-hmm.
Just like there was a tweet a week. There was a tweet last week that basically said, I'm not gonna watch it. I don't feel like I need to watch it. But it alluded to the fact they weren't gonna watch the film, but they went on to write this really long negative review of it. Not a really long, but like a negative tweet of it. And what that said to me was that what it said to me is that I think we're on the right track with
Guess what?
with producing something
They
like this,
watched it.
right? Well, and I guess what I'm saying is I understand that
Yeah.
everyone won't feel the same as I feel like this is a point of education for people. I wanted the film to just be part of it, and that's what the History Center wanted. We wanted it to be
It's
an education.
awesome, y'all. Like I thought I was gonna go to sleep, but I felt like I was watching Jurassic Park for
Not
a minute there
Jurassic Park.
because the drone shot of that mountain when it first comes on, it looked like you was about to be like engaged in a real movie. Like it was like
I
this
really
is
wanted
good.
the film. I wanted the mountain to be shot really beautifully
Yeah,
because
they did that.
I wanted it to really be shot. So, but yeah, like I said, when I saw that tweet, I was like, oh, okay, this is probably a microcosm of how a lot of people will see it. They don't, they may not be interested in watching it right now, but I would hope that it helps at least to start a conversation with people. Like
Yeah.
even if you love it, hate it, whatever, let's just have the conversation about it. And that's what I want. That was the goal. Like I wanted people to, and I would hope that eventually this person would watch the film. But if nothing else, like we've spurred a conversation, and that's what
I think y'all did an awesome job.
Thank you.
I really did because I was like, I even got a little emotional because I was like, why am I feeling sad? Like, and it's just.
And see, that's the good thing. That's the good thing, and that was the goal.
I think I told Will Cherry.
Yeah.
I told Cherry I started tearing up. He told me, "Simone, get the hell out of here." He just such a
Thank
what
you for
that
your
alpha
emotion.
male.
Yes, thank you for
And
your
I'm just
emotion.
like, you gotta have a little emotion when
You
it's
do,
there.
you
Like,
do.
it's
So I
fine.
appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate
So,
you watching. Yeah, I would encourage everyone to
good.
watch it and learn. I'm all about learning new stuff. So there should be a lot to learn in there. And,
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, look, guys, I gotta get her out of here because, like I said, she has something to do. She has a meeting to go to. Miss Christian Witherspoon, I really appreciate
No,
this.
thank you
This
for
is
asking
awesome.
me. I really enjoyed it.
So,
I want to
was
come
a
back
little
again.
nervous. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back
Let
again.
me know what topic you want to talk
I
about. We can do
will.
some things. We can
Let's
figure
do
something
it.
out.
Let's do it. But thank you.
Like I said, guys, we are on episode 20 of You Don't Pay Me Enough to Care with my special guest, Christian Witherspoon. I left one thing out, y'all. She's actually a professor too at Kennesaw State. I don't know if you're still in.
I'm not there anymore, but I used to be there. I was there for 3 years, so
that's
I've done
what
it
happens
all.
when you do your research on
Thank
people.
you.
Like,
Thank you for the research. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So, well, thank you so much. It was great.
And we're gonna sign off. And if there's any advice that you want to give to somebody out there that's embarking on in your field, real quick, and we can go ahead and
I would just say the only advice I would give is, again, just don't be afraid to try something different.
Right, because fear can F you up.
Yes, don't be afraid to try something different.
And I always say enlighten speed, you guys, and blessings to everybody out there. And we're going to sign off of this because I'm hungry as hell and she got somewhere to be. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.